and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Tuesday, September 17th. We begin with an update to a story we've been following for weeks. The man wanted for a deadly police chase in Plainfield has been arrested. Brian Goodman was taken into custody in Indianapolis. He's currently being held at the Hendricks County Jail. The crash happened August 30th when Avon police say they tried to pull Goodman over. During that chase, investigators say Goodman crashed at US 40 and Smith Road, killing 78-year-old Barbara and Benny Williams and injuring a police officer. Police say Goodman had other outstanding warrants at the time of the crash and chase. On the east side, 7 people were arrested for spinning at intersections over the weekend. ITMate's Cody Fisher reports.
The corner of Emerson and English is one of the intersections that was taken over by cars this weekend. To get a true sense of exactly what happened here, you have to see it from the sky. A dark, oily-looking ring dominates the middle of the intersection. Security camera video from 3 o'clock this morning from a nearby gas station shows that ring was likely caused when people lit a ring of fire in the intersection. 2 minutes before that, the same security camera caught a car taking over the intersection to do a burnout. You can then see someone pull a barricade into the intersection to block off traffic from going through.
You cannot and will not get away with this behavior in our community. You put the community at risk with your reckless and irresponsible behavior. And if I can get a hold of your car, I'm going to take your car too.
IMPD Chief Chris Bailey was livid about what happened over the weekend during a news conference Monday.
The irresponsible, reckless behavior, this is the most that I've seen in a long time.
Most upsetting for him is what happened to his officers when they arrived to break up the street takeover.
I can only imagine what's going through their head, especially as 20 people with masks and baseball bats approach your car when you're just trying to do your job.
Some of those people threw baseball bats, rocks, bottles, and other things at the police, shattering windshields and denting hoods. Bailey explained why it was so difficult to prevent this from happening to begin with.
They just moved from place to place and we ended up chasing them around all night long, is what the typical pattern is.
This is another of the 5 locations involved in the takeovers this weekend. A parking lot off of Lafayette Road on the northwest side, with crushed beer cans and empty beer bottles riddled all over. It looks more like the backyard of a frat house than somewhere people park cars.
We had to bring resources from all over the city to deal with this, which means neighborhoods throughout our county did not have the appropriate number of police protection.
So far, police have made 7 arrests. IMPD says the majority of them are locals, and they're not done investigating. They plan on making as many arrests as possible for anyone who was involved, including people who planned it.
There are promoters, there are people that promote these type of events on social media, and they can be sure that they're going to be targets of any sort of criminal investigation that we have as well.
For ITMate, I'm Cody Fisher for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook for updates.
On to a story making national headlines. The U.S. Attorney in Manhattan says hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in New York. It comes after a federal grand jury indicted Combs in New York. Authorities say police arrested him at a Manhattan hotel last night after he had relocated to New York in anticipation of the charges. The U.S. Attorney says that indictment is currently sealed, but the charges will be revealed sometime this morning. In Springfield, Ohio, classes at 2 colleges and several schools are set to resume today. They were closed yesterday due to threats made related to bogus claims about Haitian immigrants who live in the area. The false claims that immigrants are stealing and eating pets have been amplified by former President Donald Trump, his running mate Senator J.D. Vance, and far-right figures on social media. The mayor of Springfield says it has to stop.
And it's disconcerting that, they keep doubling and tripling down with what we're asking them to stop talking about. Springfield is a good place. We're a wonderful place. We're not imploding on each other as far as a community. We're doing, we're really for each other in this community.
Ohio's Republican governor also criticized the rhetoric against immigrants. He says Ohio state troopers are sweeping every school building in Springfield ahead of classes today. INDOT is asking for your input on the US 31 and I-465 interchange project. It is set to improve the capacity and efficiency of the interchange on the Hamilton and Marion County line. The project will also add a lane to east and westbound 465 to northbound 31 to reduce the amount of merges. INDOT says nearly 105,000 vehicles travel US 31 daily. That number is expected to rise to about 160,000 by 2045.
I think a lot of people will agree that this project needs to be done because it's growing so rapidly in this area. And with that comes more people, more vehicles, and more traffic.
INDOT is holding a meeting to allow drivers to give feedback on the project. That meeting will be held at Drury Plaza Hotel right off North Meridian in Indianapolis next Thursday at 5:30. When it comes to the weather, Storm Track 8 says the warm and dry conditions will continue. Meteorologist Marcus Bailey has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
I think today's going to be day number 11 of consecutive days without rain, and we'll probably tack on several more as well. Let's walk you through this here. Let's start with radar and satellite first, because I know yesterday we mentioned we might get a little bit of cloud cover from a tropical system that made landfall in the Carolinas last night. We are seeing some of those clouds in Ohio, in Kentucky, and extreme southeastern counties of our state. But this is really just kind of pump the brakes. I don't think we're going to see much more advancement to the north and west. None of the rain makes it to us. And I don't know if any of this cloud cover is actually going to make it to central Indiana. So I'm going to keep things very quiet here for this morning and really for the remainder of the day. Very mild again here in Indy, 64, dew point low, winds are light, and it is a clear sky overhead. You get outside of the city, low to mid 50s. So very similar numbers to what we have had over the last several mornings. 53 Muncie, 55 Shelbyville, and 54 in Terre Haute. Statewide, same thing. Low to mid 50s pretty much statewide. You do have a few 60s peppered in, specifically around Evansville, up around Chicago, Cincinnati. Of course, you do have some clouds that are working in to southwestern Ohio this morning. Wind's not a tremendous issue coming out of the north and east, around 3 to 5 miles per hour. Those will stay pretty quiet and relaxed through the remainder of the day with tons of sunshine. 81 at noon. I'm going to go with a high of 86, which is actually about 2 to 3 degrees cooler than yesterday, but still a pretty toasty day, 8 degrees warmer than average. I think we're pushing close to 90 here for the back half of this work week. Believe it or not, I actually do have some rain opportunities to talk about here in the extended forecast. We'll time that out coming your way in just a few minutes.
To get a peek at the full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. Let's wrap things up with a celebration. The Colts are gearing up for National Hispanic Heritage Month with a book fair and football camp. The fun kicks off at 10 this morning for the elementary students of Clarence Farrington School. Students will be able to pick out 2 free books, as well as time for individual reading and photos and autographs with Colts cheerleaders. Then the students will have a brief football camp to teach grades 2 through 5 the fundamental skills of 6 different positions. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Tuesday, September 17th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.